Hi YouTube! In this video, I want to specifically talk about how you can find your own voice, your own inner truth, that voice that is authentically just you. I think your voice is a combination of all the voices you have inside, all the voices in your head, and all the voices you listen to over the years, because in your head you have a representation of every person you ever met, and especially of their voices and the things they said to you, the way they treated you. Sometimes we don't want to listen to those voices, even though we have them inside, and that's very difficult to give those voices the space to be there, but at the same time create boundaries for where you can have a loving relationship with those voices inside your head, where you can ask them what are their needs, what do they need from you. So I think finding your own voice is about so much more than just how you sound. It's about what you want to say and what you want to communicate. And I guess in the end it's about what's really important to you. What is the thing that if you couldn't speak anymore, or you could just speak one more sentence in your lifetime, what would be the thing you need to say, you need to communicate right now? That's your voice, I think. It's the thing that you can't not say. When you want to find your voice, you gotta start digging in yourself about what is important to you, about what you want to contribute to the world. And also maybe the things that you haven't said before, the things that are somewhere deep in your mind, deep in your soul, and you haven't had the courage yet to say them. Maybe to a person, maybe to yourself, maybe some emotion and some feelings you haven't communicated yet. It's very hard to say the things where you know that might hurt someone, or say the things that could have some consequences. It's very hard to be true to your own voice if you know that what you're gonna say is gonna have some consequences. Having the courage to voice your thoughts and feelings and emotions, even though you know that some people might not receive it very well, and that's okay. You can also decide to voice what's important to you to yourself in a diary, or you tell it a good friend that has nothing to do with a certain situation, or you tell it as a therapist. But I think it's important to let out what you want to say. A good exercise, or something that really helped me to finding my voice, was being aware of the moments when I sing a song. A certain lyric speaks to me so much, that I'm almost moved to tears when I hear it. That's a clue there on, oh, this might be important to me in some way. It makes me feel something, and I can relate to this. So when you have those moments that you hear a song or you see a film, and you have this moment where you really feel connected to the message, ask yourself, what is the message there, and why is it important to me? Why do I feel so much when I hear this? And often it is a clue to what's really inside of you trying to emerge, trying to come out. It's also quite funny sometimes when you talk to a friend and you want to give them advice, and then afterwards you think, that was interesting advice, maybe I should listen to my own advice. That's your voice right there communicating to you, what you should be doing in your life. Especially as a coach, for myself, that's something you really need to train, to not project onto people, to not flood them with advice, and instead of, when you're in a coaching session with them, giving them the space to experience their own voice. And it's so interesting what comes out if you give someone the space to really say the things they need to say, they want to say, or maybe they're afraid to say. So if you want to find your voice, dig deep and look for those things that you're afraid of talking about, the things that make you feel emotional, things that matter to you. And also your advice. Every time you give advice to someone, or you feel called to give them some advice, that's always your voice, your inner truth, talking to yourself and telling you that's what you should be doing. And it's quite interesting when you look on YouTube, and also I myself doing this on YouTube, filming myself and talking to the camera. And it's actually a quite interesting space for me as well, to experience my voice and to see what comes out of me, to see what matters to me, and to really feel connected to what I want to share, with what is important to me, and also with my purpose in the end. What do I feel that I have to do? And I think that's the clue. When you can't stop talking about something, then that's a clue about this could be your purpose, or this is something that is important to you. And it's always your voice talking to you. For those of you who feel like they've lost their voices completely and they don't know what they want, they don't know what to say or what to share or what to communicate, sometimes it's when you put yourself so far back and you always just give others the space to talk, and you never give yourself the space to do so, or you take maybe too long to talk or to share what you feel. It's very rare to have like good friends that give you the space to let you talk about things. And I don't know, maybe if you've lost your voice or you want to find your voice, maybe you're one of those people who, like me as well, who always listens to other people and always gives them the space, but takes an hour to communicate what I feel to someone. And I really need a lot of encouragement and like a good friend that asks me, so what do you really, really feel? And I take 5 minutes to even find the answer to what I really feel, because it's sometimes so hard to voice my emotions and find them. So to those people out there who are like that, yeah, maybe it's time for you to start a YouTube channel and use that platform and that space to give yourself the space to listen to your own voice and to find out what things you want to say, what matters to you, and just maybe sit in front of a camera and try talking and see what comes out without having any pressure to do something with it. It's just experiencing yourself and listening to what matters to you and what comes out of you. The reason why I put off starting my own YouTube channel for so long was because I was afraid. I thought myself to be very self-involved and self-centered. So how could I, do a YouTube channel? How could I talk to a camera and to people out there and think that I know what I'm talking about? It's not about actually that someone who's talking to a camera is better than someone who's not. It's more about, okay, that person gives themselves the space to talk about the things that are important to them. The reason why your voice is valuable and important and is needed is because you have experiences, unique experiences and learnings and wisdom that you acquired over the years, that if you share that with people, they can see themselves in you and they can find themselves through you by listening to you. When I talk to a good friend, she tells me about her story and something that she struggles with. I can relate to that and I can feel that part of myself who had the same problems. It's never self-centered to just talk about yourself for a second, because sharing your perspective and sharing your voice with the world gives people the opportunity to also look at themselves and discover themselves more. And I think also the more space you give yourself to be yourself and to know yourself and to find your voice and to be curious about what's important to you, it actually makes you less self-centered, because you have so much more empathy you can share with people and a space you can open up for people where they can voice themselves, where they can show parts of themselves. The less space you give yourself, the less space you will give to someone else. So that was my perspective on how to find your voice and what is important in finding your voice. Yeah, it was nice talking to you.